Well, hello, you guys. Today, I'm going to be reading A Light in the Attic by Shell Silverstein. It's a collection of poems, and I have picked out 6 that I'm going to read. The first one that I'm going to read is called Fancy Dive. The fanciest dive that ever was done by Melissa of Coconut Grove. She bounced on the board and flew into the air with a twist of her head and a twirl of her hair. She did 44 jackknives, backflipped and spun, quadruple gainered and reached for the sun, and then somersaulted 9 times and a quarter, and looked down and saw that the pool had no water. The next poem I'm going to read is called Memorizin' Mo. Mo memorized the dictionary, but just can't seem to find a job, or anyone who wants to marry someone who memorized the dictionary. Alright, the next one is called Rock and Roll Band. If we were a rock and roll band, we'd travel all over the world and the land. We'd play and we'd sing and we'd wear spangly things if we were in a rock and roll band. If we were in a rock and roll band and we were up there on the stand, the people would hear us and love us and cheer us. Hooray for the rock and roll band! If we were a rock and roll band, then we'd have 1,000,000 fans. We'd giggle and laugh and sign autographs if we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band, the people would all kiss our hands. We'd be millionaires and have extra long hair if we were a rock and roll band. But we ain't no rock and roll band. We're just 7 kids in the sand with homemade guitars and pails and jars and drums of potato chip cans. Just 7 kids in the sand, talking and waving our hands, and dreaming and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be grand if we were a rock and roll band? Alright, next up, I'm going to read a poem called What Did? What did the carrot say to the wheat? Let us rest. I am feeling beat. What did the paper say to the pen? I feel quite all right, my friend. What did the teapot say to the chalk? Nothing, you silly. Teapots can't talk. Alright, next one I'm going to read is called Prayer of the Selfish Child. Now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my toys to break, so none of the other kids can use them. Amen. That one's pretty silly. And the last one I'm going to read is called Hammock. Grandma sent the hammock, the good Lord sent the breeze, and I'm here to do the swinging. Now, who's gonna move the trees? And that was 6 poems from the book A Light in the Attic by Shell Silverstein. Thank you, guys.